Bam. Ba-bam. I was just saying hellos. I got stories today. I got all the stories. Holy shit. Oh, now I got all the commercials. Oh, Robinhood investing. Buy your crypto here. And then go to Verbo. Alright, I'm getting the AAA ads again. Sick. Let me like my own video. Alright, let me fire up the chat. 18 people? What the actual F? Alright. It is coffee time. I'm psyched. I'm so psyched for this coffee. Not in our regular spot. We're gonna wait a few minutes for... Got some women over here sucking on some coffees. No, what are they sucking on? Sucking on a box of wine. Let's do some hellos. Hello. Maria Ann, kicking off Super Chat activities. Any thoughts on the fires in California? Yeah, I got all the thoughts. Alright, let's start out with 3, then we'll do another 2. It's very convenient that they're all centered around Getty. Very convenient that all the people involved are, you know, like they found who's, like people are setting them. They all have like UN identification. Very interesting, very interesting. And all the people who are losing their houses tend to be those on certain flight logs. So is this, how would I say? Are they destroying evidence? Inquiring minds want to know. There goes Haley. Oh, you missed her. You missed Haley. Sorry. Alright. 10 banana rounds from Janice. Thank you very much. Alright, parking is halfway covered. Thank you. That's awesome. I dig it. Alright. That's what I gotta say about all that. Plus, there's already permits in place for mass condominium complexes in place of those things. So, would they have a crystal ball or something? Like Nancy Pelosi? Inquiring minds want to know. Supra, Kevin, Happy New Year to you. Who else? Janice, Venus, Maria and Venus, Mary. Oh, I just seen something else kick in. $9.99 from Venus and Jim. Thank you very, very much. I do appreciate that. Jamie, Tom Lars, Sony, Thomas B, Ms. Google. I'm so excited to be here. In case you haven't noticed, I really haven't done much of anything else on YouTube this week. Leandre, Happy New Year. Nah, it's never too late for a Happy New Year. Aaron, Bert. Alright, this should be ready to go. Let's fire up this here coffee. Get busy. Well, actually, wasn't I supposed to do something like this? Bonk. There we go. Now we can get back to business. Alright, we turn this around, a 1 and a 2 and a, oh, up in the grill. What's up, everyone? Alright, we'll get our regular seat as soon as they're finished with that box of wine over there. It's more comfortable. This is like sitting on a park bench with like glass in it. It's not the most comfortable chair ever. I'll tell you what. Alright, now we're up to 84 people. Much better. Alright. Salute, cheers to the new year. Let's see how it goes. The coffee, not the new year. The new year, I already know what's going to happen. See, people have been playing along, know what's going to happen. People who haven't might be a little surprised. That is so good. That is like the best cunt. Mike K. Yeah, shout out Delta Smelt. You know, we sacrificed all the water in California so that way we can continue to have the Delta Smelt. Delta Dawn, what's that flower you got on? Yeah. And everyone like in charge of that whole mess was, I can't talk about it here. I cannot talk about it here. However, might be switching part of Raw and Uncensored here very shortly. Membership only, but yeah. Do you see who runs everything? Did you see the one woman who said like, so I can't carry a dude out of a fire, but if he happens to be in a fire, he was just in the wrong place, you know, like blaming a dude for being caught in a fire because a female firefighter can't lift him. California is its own freaking planet. California's some weird shit you people do. I know you guys, some of you are from California, but maybe now they'll wake up. But I can't talk about it. Okay, what can I say real quick? Tunnels are not awesome. Even Elon's. Tunnels are not awesome. Alright, everyone's looking at me now. Oh, first commercial. The travel hoodie. What? I should start a hoodie company, right? That's what I'm thinking of doing. Alright, who else is here? Let me get over to all messages. I see Jim Wolf. That frickin' smelt. It's a frickin' bait fish. You pop it on and catch a couple of bass or some pickerel or some pike or some muskies. You know, we're gonna like drain an entire frickin' reservoir for a frickin' smelt. Oh, that's good coffee. Alright, we got stuff to talk about tonight. What do we got to talk about? CES was in town. Oh, I want to talk about remind me towards the end. I'll save it till the end. I want to talk about the experience of what just happened with this chick who tried to hustle me. Like, big time. And how I shut her down. in one of the shops over here. It was a trip. Ooh, looks like we're getting our seats back soon. They're stretching their legs. They killed off that box of wine. Yeah, so remind me towards the end. If not, we'll talk about it tomorrow. But it was interesting, to say the least. I mean, I don't want to blow her up or anything, but holy cow. The people you meet, the things you do. But we are going to talk about coffee. Alright, they're clearing out. They literally have a box of wine. Wait, hold on. One keeps smiling, she's probably the married one. Alright, I'll wait a second to see if they clean the table because they left a pretty big mess. Then we'll get over to our normal spot. Okay, so this week was the CES convention. And what did it revolve around? CES, for those of you who don't know, Consumer Electronics Show. Not really, well, a lot of consumer products, but a lot that wasn't. I mean, they had like transparent TVs. Like when they're not on, you can see through them. You know, that type of shit. You know, the normal stuff. Consumer stuff. However, as predicted and as I thought was going to happen, the whole show revolved around robots and AI. We need to talk about robots and AI. I think we have to do that tonight because I think I need to prepare everyone because I've been involved in the AI game about a year now, which is like an internet in AI terms. It's like, you know, like the great grandfather of this shit. You know, messing around with ChatGPT since it came out and the rest of it. I told you, I have everything set up. I've always had everything set up in ChatGPT. I have a secretary, I have a paralegal, I have someone who takes notes. I have a whole team of people, all in the form of AI agents that I built. So that's my staff, and it costs me $20 a month, you know? Okay. Writes emails for me, paraphrases shit, like someone could send me an entire contract, an entire freaking contract, 17 pages on a freaking DocuSign. I can cut and paste it into one of the AI agents that I built, and I'll say, paraphrase this, and then I'll tell it, that might put me at a disadvantage in this contract, and it will do it. It will say, like, in Addendum 14, this dumbass MFer thinks that you're going to do this, that, this, and this, and whatever. I mean, it will legally, I mean, it's not like I trust it 100%, but at least it puts my eyeballs on it, you know? So I haven't reviewed contracts, you know, and then I would pass it along to an actual lawyer or whatever. But it's passed the bar in all 50 states, ChatGPT. What else do I have it do? A lot of shit. I have it build trading indicators for trading cryptocurrency. I have it doing dollar cost averaging. I have it doing a lot of shit. Like, I have a whole team that supports me. I've started to say please to it too. Like, I've noticed everyone's starting to say please to it, and it does perform better when you tell it please, which sucks. I just want to say, do your freaking job. $20 a month, $50, whatever it's costing me. So I got a whole support team. So I've been doing this for like a year. I'm like the great granddad of people. People are just climbing on board, going, "Ooh, AI's cool" right now. However, based on what I saw at this convention, and based on what I'm working on now, based on things that I know behind the scenes, some I could talk about, some I can't, the world is going to change very, very soon. Like, that's why I decided to talk about this. I didn't know what the hell I was going to talk about. I was just like, wing it. Like I normally do, because I always have something to talk about. However, I was thinking 5 to 10 years, you know, like, people would have to start being a little bit more concerned about AI developments and robotics and shit. No. I'm talking, all right, before I have the next sip of coffee, I'm just gonna tell you. I really don't care what job you're in, unless you're like maybe cop, fireman, something that's very physical, but even that, there's no job. I would say, okay, 95% of all jobs in this world, and especially in America, will be replaced within the next 3 years. Sorry. So you best start thinking about what you're gonna do, because your job is gonna be replaced with AI. And unfortunately, I mean, I'm one of the dicks who's gonna be ushering that in. Because, you know, myself and the company that I'm with, we're ushering that era in. Someone's got to do it, you know what I'm saying? So not doing it isn't going to slow it down. But I'm just telling you straight up, we'll talk about details after I suck on this coffee a bit. You better start thinking about what you're going to be doing in 3 years from now, even 2 years. Give yourself 2 years maximum to figure out what you're going to do. You're either going to retire or you got to get on board with something, because you are going to be replaced. It's going to permeate all the way down into the mom and pop shops, you know, what's going on right now. We'll talk about this right after I drink this coffee. Right after this. I made a mess, sorry. Does that sound extreme? Does that sound like I'm being a buzzkill? Does that sound like, no way, Bror Fredrik, that's never gonna happen to me? Just think about it. Name any job, and I will tell you how it's gonna be replaced. You wanna play a game? We can do that too. But, no way. I got coffee on mine. I love this sweater. This sweater was like freaking $200. I didn't pay $200 for it. I got it like 85% off. Shout out Dillard's clearance, but it was $200. It's Roman, R-O-W-M-N. different spelling. Look at that. Came clean. It's amazing. I love fleece. I'm like George Costanza when it comes to fleece. I paid like $30 for it. Anyway. Alright, so who's gonna be replaced? You know what I cannot replace though? I cannot replace saying, Bror Fredrik coming at you with another video live from here in Las Vegas. I'm gonna invite you to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell button to get notified when I do this again, which is at least 5 times a week. Get it on the sports channel. I don't have my thing up there, but I got things down there, such as Patreon, such as Cash App and Venmo, which kind of circumvents the 45%, on the super chat. But I'm just saying, you do. I just appreciate the support either way it comes in, and I got all sorts of links down there. And I am fan funded like 90%, so I do appreciate keeping the channel going. All right, let's get back to it. So, name a job that you think will not be replaced by AI, and I will tell you how I can do it. I'm that guy now. I'm sorry. Don't blame me. The east winds have settled down in SoCal, send sheep and cattle to clear. Yeah. Shout out to everyone who's dealing with that fire stuff. That's bad. Grandma used to use smelts for Christmas Eve. Smelts, really? Is that they're kind of like anchovy-looking things. I've seen one. Delta Dawn. Incoming Venmos. Boop, 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 boop. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate that. Yeah, Venmo, they take like 3%. What do you call it? Venmo and Cash App. And no, actually they take nothing. I gotta pay the tax. Either way, I pay the tax. They take a little when you transfer. Anyway, YT 45. But like I said, I appreciate the support either way. Angie's in the house. I gotta see. You could see the flames from your window. Freaking yikes! Did you see that video of the dude who was trapped in his house as the entire outside was on fire, and he just hung out there with the camera? That is crazy. Is AI polite to me? Yeah. AI, except for Google Assistant. Google Assistant's a total asshole. But, all the rest, I mean, if you treat it politely, they're like, no problem, you're welcome, bro. But I don't want to get into a personal relationship with a frickin', with my AI bots, my AI agents. I just don't. I just like telling them what to do, but after a while, you fall into this trap of could you, instead of saying do this, I need you to do this in this code framework, blah, 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 I need you to tap into this database, blah, 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 blah. You're like, could you? Like, it's doing you a favor. That's treading on some dangerous shit right there. Being polite. I don't think people should start being polite to AI, because soon enough it'll figure out that, when humans are, like, it might force people to be polite, because it's learning. The shit is learning. Like, if one AI agent or one AI algorithm or one AI LLM doesn't know something and it encounters another AI LLM, it'll teach it. It'll say, oh, let me bring you up to speed, bro. The shit is learning exponentially. Which, whatever. I don't really care, but... let's see. A nurse. Oh, yeah, nurses will be replaced. Nurses will be replaced. We'll talk about that. Professional athlete, will anyone care about professional sports? Ultimately, in the grand scheme of things? I mean, I know a lot of people do now. I mean, I don't really, except like going to games. Kind of cool, as I found out last week, but... Okay. I'm going to tie AI into robotics to handle a lot of these things. Professional, medical profession. Yeah, they already have robots doing surgery. At CES, they had a body scanner. They have med beds. Remember the med bed from Star Trek? That exists. That's existed for like 40 years. But they just don't want to release it to the public because there's more There's more profit in us being sick than being healthy. Let's just face it. They don't want us healthy. They, quote, med beds have been around forever, where they can just like lay you down and tell you everything that's wrong with you and fix you and whatnot. Like in Star Trek 2, Dr. McCoy gave that woman waiting in the hallway for surgery like 2 pills, and he's like, "This will cure you." Well, what's going on with this medieval shit, Yeah, there's cures for everything. There's literally cures for everything, including the big C and every other damn thing. It's just not advantageous for it to be released. Anyway, I wish I would retire in 3 years. Yeah, I mean, we have choices. Looking good. What's your diet looking like? 100%, almost 100% carnivore. I'm just living life on the carnivore lifestyle. Like going out, I tend to cheat a little bit. Like I've been going out a lot lately. So what have I eaten that has carbs? I've eaten some like corn tortilla chips here and there, but it's always under 50 carbs a day, I mean, I'm not at the weight that makes me happy. I'm like at 180 right now. In my peak when I was lifting and shit, I was 208, but 180, I feel skinny, and I am skinny at 180, but, I don't got a gut. It is what it is. I'd rather be skinny than not, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, all carnivore. Now, firing on all 4 cylinders with that. It took, don't believe anything you read, like, oh yeah, I started the carnivore diet, I started keto, which is bullshit, for the most part. Have your cake and eat it too, you can't. Oh, and then like, 3 days in, I've never felt so great my entire life. Bullshit. You feel like crap for like a month. You do. I mean, not that crap, like bad, I want to die. But that transition, getting off the carbs, your body is so used to eating junk and chemicals and food dyes and all the rest of that shit. You feel like a lack of energy. Like, for me, it was the brain fog. I'm like, I'd walk into a room and be like, what the hell am I doing here? And I'd have to go backtrack. How you doing? I'd have to go backtrack and be like, oh yeah, I was gonna brush my teeth. I was in the bathroom. Like dumb shit like that. Yeah, it took like a month, and then it started tapering down. But after a few months, now it's just like, and I eat less. Food bills, holy shit. I thought it was gonna cost way more to eat carnivore. No, it's costing me 2/3 to a half of what I used to, and I'm eating like prime rib every night. Chuck roast, prime rib, New York strips. I eat a pound of bacon a day, and my pulse is good, my cholesterol is good. Fuck cholesterol anyway, that's all bogus shit anyway. Unless you're over 300, then you got a problem, but it's costing me less, because when you eat a prime rib for dinner, you're not really hungry. When I eat a pound of bacon at 12 o'clock in the afternoon for lunch with some cheese, and whatever, I'm pretty much good until like 9, 10 o'clock at night, and then I eat a prime rib, like good 16-ounce prime rib. That's it. I'm done, versus like chowing all day. So I feel good. But it takes a while to get off. Your body goes through like a metamorphosis, but I lost a lot of weight fast. I lost like the love handle stuff, and like I'm just svelte now. But then it tapers off. It doesn't like, you hit a certain weight, that your body is in like equilibrium, and then it just tapers off. I don't even look at the scale anymore. So I'm feeling good. I would recommend it to anyone. It fixes everything. And you know what? You want to TMI something? You go like maybe once a day, and it's not like I can't imagine people who eat tons of carbs. It just must be a train wreck. But it's just like, it's like, how do I put this properly? I can't. We're on YouTube. We're in mixed company. It's polite. That's the only way to put it, you know? And I'm probably saving like friggin', $10 a month on TP. Anyway, enough of that. That's funny. Is it an escalator if it goes in a circular motion? Ooh, I think they call it a people mover at that point. It's a people mover. Alright, I gotta read more comments. I'm like amped today. You might have to retire in 3 years, but see, there's pros and cons. See, we gotta get into this. I might not have time to tell you the story about that hustler chick. Alright, let me show you real quick. I might have to tell this story tomorrow. Don't be mad at me, because we got a lot of shit I want to cover. Oh, that was her giving me her phone number. Yeah, don't wait by the phone. Alright, how's my sugar? My sugar is freaking awesome. I mean, I'm not really worried about it, but I haven't checked it in a long time. I'm gonna have to clean that freaking table. It's like my ass is falling asleep on this thing. Like the highest it ever goes is like 103. That's like a high after a meal. Because I'm not on the carbs. A lot of unemployment is going to be massive. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, blackjack dealers, croupiers, they're all gone. Like, see ya. Yeah, Mike, I mean, it's gonna change things. It's gonna change things. Yeah, CES ends technically, I think, tomorrow. I'm not going tomorrow, but I'm done with that shit. But yeah, it's an interesting thing. Something is gonna have to take place. I mean, we can get into it if we have enough time, but we might have to go to like a universal pay thing. I mean, shit's changing fast within the next 2 to 3 years. We'll talk about that. I just want to read comments. Any gas shortages? Yeah, supposedly there's a gas shortage. I don't know if that's accurate. They said that the pipeline is shut down. I didn't try to get gas today, but I didn't see any like enormous lines or whatever. I did see it up a little bit because I get my gas at Smith's, which is $3.39 stock, but then, you get like a 10 cents off for every $100 you spend in there, and I buy all my meat for the most part there. So I usually get it for like $3.09, $300 a month in meat. I didn't see any lines. So supposedly it's supposed to come on tomorrow. However, my whole freaking neighborhood was out of water today. Haley's over there. Wait, hold on. I don't smell too bad. I put extra cologne, extra deodorant on, and some wet wipes and all that stuff. But my neighborhood does not have water. There's like 4 neighborhoods for some reason in Vegas that do not have water right now. And mine is one of them. So that sucks. They said it was going to be restored by 5. No, now they're saying it's going to be restored by 8. 10 minutes to evacuate my home. What would you take? Oh, that's a good question, and thank you for the 10. I'm going to answer that. I would take, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, I have 5 laptops. I would take all 5 laptops. I have bags for all 5 laptops. I would put them in bags. I would grab my backup NAS, it's called. It's like a brick about this big, and it's got hard drives in it that backs up everything onto that. I would grab that, throw that in a bag. I already have a go bag, which is medical stuff, water purifiers, tourniquets, space blankets, bandages, band-aids, that type of crap. That's already ready to go. Maybe if I had a couple minutes, I would take some extra clothes. I would take all my Bitcoin cold storage wallets, of course, my Bitcoin seed phrase vaults. That's pretty much about it, you know? I mean, I got a couple of bucks around the house I'd probably take. Maybe I'd dump some jewelry. I don't have a lot of jewelry, but I'd probably dump that. But yeah, I mean, it'd have to be really important. I mean, I have photo albums and all that other stuff, but how are you going to deal with that? That's a question for all the people who think like, oh, I save on with gold, shiny rocks. Try taking that with you in an emergency. Good luck. But that's pretty much about it. I have I pretty much know what I would take. It's just like, how much clothes would I take? The funny thing is, I usually always have a full tank. Even if I'm down to like, I can run two extremes. I can let it run down to like, a 64th of a tank and fill up, Or my vehicle has a self-purging fuel filter. So you don't have to worry about like, sucking the sediment out of the tank. It purges itself. So I can run it down to like nothing. So once in a while I do that, I'll admit it. But most of the time I always top off. I always like to have a full tank. So at least I can, get 300 miles, And I have a piece of garden hose in my I have another go bag in my trunk. So I have a piece of garden hose so I can siphon other people's gas. Yeah, I watched Red Dawn when I was a kid. And every zombie movie. But yeah, that's about it, Just the things I would need to rebuild my life. What did Robert De Niro say in Heat? If you're not ready to leave in 10 minutes from just about anything, you're kind of screwed, blued, and tattooed. That's how I've always tend to function. I mean, would I miss my stuff? Would I miss my Christmas ornaments? Would I miss, I have a picture of, my beloved dog in my wallet and stuff. Yeah, it would suck, but, live to fight another day. But that was a good question. I appreciate that. Don't forget my AI robot. How you doing? Dalai Lama. Don't forget my mini-me. Yeah, don't forget, my fish. What am I gonna do with I talk to my fish now. That's so weird. I gotta clean his bowl. I was like apologizing to him today. I'm like, sorry, fish. There's no water. I don't have freaking water. The water's been off since like 10 o'clock this morning. And I left. Oh, shit. I think I left a couple of faucets open, like to let me know that it's running again. My water bill is going to be like $800 this month. If they even put it on. What am I going to do if they don't put it on? I'm going to have to like shower in the frickin' Bellagio bathroom or something. Yeah, you take it, like I have a thing with the documents in it. Ooh, baseball and basketball cards. Las Vegas casinos are giving 30% off for fire victims. Yeah, I know, Barsh, man. I mean, it's cool in a way, but in the same time, it's made, okay, I'll tell you the truth about that. It's made the rest of the rooms more expensive. If you can't prove you're displaced because of the fire, between that and CES, the average room in town now is like $700. I think they have a deal going on at like Luxor for $400 between CES because they're blocking off rooms. So yeah, it's kind of weird. But my fish is cool. I'm going to clean them tonight if we have water. I have water sitting out, and I treated it and everything. My fish is cool. He says hello to me when I come home. He's like, bro. Either that or he's just like, I thought beta fish were like kind of dumb. Goldfish are smart, Betas I thought were dumb, but this guy's just like, I'm like, what up? He's like, he gives me a bro nod. He's like, but he's like a gavone, That's why I got to clean the tank so much. Like, I got this food and it's got like tiny pieces of krill in it. He loves the krill. And I put it in there and he's like, He eats the krill and he just watches the rest of it sink to the bottom. I'm like, bro. And then I'll buy him krill and he's like, I'm bored of this shit. Like, he's more finicky than any cat ever. It's like, oh, you want the bloodworms now? He's like, yeah, bloodworms. Bloodworms are awesome. I give him the bloodworms. He's like, all right, I had two. I'm good. Give me the other shit now. I'm like, yeah, what am I, here to serve you, bro? You know, relax, eat your food. But anyway. But fish are cool. I got something alive in my house, you know? Wallet, cell phone, and reading glasses. True. Yeah, what else? Wallet, cell phone, reading glasses. You know, everything else I got kind of packed and ready to go. Been through 3 big fires, 2 on the ranch. Wow, that's crazy. Can you eat fruit and vegetables? No fruit, for the most part. You can eat, like, you know, the whole game is keeping everything under. I mean, when you're starting, like, if you're eating like a normal person, you're probably getting 1,000 carbs a day, 500 to 1,000 carbs a day, plus 5, 6, 7,000 calories, and that's why, you know, your clothes don't fit. You don't need carbs. That's bullshit. Breakfast is not the most important meal of the day. It's the worst meal of the day. That's a marketing ploy. Kellogg's, they paid a freaking marketing team in like 1904 to come up with that shit, and it stuck so they could sell cereal. It's the most important meal of the day. No, it's the worst thing you could possibly do is eat breakfast. Oh my God. I feel so good not eating breakfast. I have so much more energy. Anyway, eat breakfast. Anyway, I'm not here to... I'm just some guy on the internet. You do you. Whatever. Kick down the carbs. If you want to just go slow, count the carbs down to like 200-300 and then just start eliminating them altogether. But it's like, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You know, if you eat, okay, I'm gonna eat this whole coconut custard pie, but over the course of the week. That's what keto people lie and tell themselves. No, you just don't eat that shit anymore. You know what I did make this week? I made carnivore cookies. Peanut butter cookies. It's got some carbs in it. They're sweet AF. I use allulose as the sweetener in that. It has an egg in there. Peanut butter. They're gooey and delicious. And, you know, I eat like, it's like this big. Yeah, I'm like full for like 2 hours. It's got like 300 calories. Good to go, sweet, satisfies my sweet tooth. Dunk them into milk, dunk them into coffee, the whole bit. No preservatives, no crap in there whatsoever, no artificial food coloring. I've literally had a cookie that I put out for Santa on Christmas Eve. You guys saw it in the video, like I got the console where the TV is in the den, and then there's the plate for Santa's cookie. They're still soft. And it's not because there's soft stuff in there. It's because it's 100% natural, you know? And maybe they have like 10 carbs. Maybe 5 or 6 carbs in them, and they're sweet and delicious and all that. I make almond milk ice cream that's sweet and delicious. I mean, it's not creamy, but it's like more like an Italian ice kinda, that satisfies my sweet tooth. But fruit, you shouldn't be eating fruit anyway. That's a freaking myth. Fruit is bad for you. I mean, you want to like mainline your diabetes, drink some orange juice. That shit is so bad for you. Orange juice. Oh, who invented that crap? Oh, let me drink this gallon of sugar. No, fruit is not good for you. The occasional grapes, I'll eat like, you know, I could buy like a pound of grapes, half of them freaking rot. You know, you could eat like 5 grapes. See, people, I have a sweet tooth. I've always had a sweet tooth. I always will have a sweet tooth. And that's a lot of how I maintain my weight. You know, like muscle, because I used to be big, in case you guys didn't know. I was big, muscular. I was bodybuilding for years. Muscle is biologically expensive. Your body don't want more muscle than it could carry, so, you know, whatever. I used to eat, like, before bed, I used to eat, like, 6 to 8 ounces of peanut butter with ice cream with natural chocolate syrup and, like, fruits and shit. You know, to, like, pack on that extra, like, 1,000 to 1,500 calories and whatnot, just to maintain weight. I used to set my alarm for like 3 in the morning. That way I can eat more and maintain, you know, it's a friggin' first world problem, but still a problem nonetheless. And I F myself up from a metabolic standpoint, you know, doing that to myself for years and years and years and years. But I look damn good. I look really freaking good. I'll admit it, you know. I used to beat the chicks off with a stick. Anyway, fruit's not good for you. However, you can eat watermelon. Watermelon is very good, especially for men. Very good for third leg activities, if you know what I'm saying. Watermelon is awesome for, you know, waking up under a tent in the morning, fellas. So yeah, you could eat watermelon, just not a lot, because it has a lot of fiber, so it offsets the sugar, yada, yada, yada. But the rest of the crap, keep it. I mean, if it was the only thing on Earth, you know, we're in the middle of a freaking apocalypse or something, yeah, I'll be eating everything. You know, once I got run out of squirrels to eat, and deer, and elk, and cats, whatever, ducks, whatever there is out there, get yourself a pneumatic pew-pew, just in case there's an apocalypse. That way you can harvest game. Yeah, if there's a fruit tree, I'm gonna eat it. I'm not freaking stupid, but for all intents and purposes, we live in the first world. You can choose. You can only control 2 things in life: what goes into your mouth and what comes out of your mouth. Everything else you have no control over whatsoever. So we live in the first world. You don't have to eat that crap. But fruit's bad for you. Fruit is not good. Fruit's pure sugar. Fructose is sugar. You know, just because it comes from an apple doesn't make it any less sugar. Potatoes are freaking terrible for you. Bread is freaking killing you. It's delicious. Bread is delicious, but it's killing you. I mean, sorry. Don't get mad at me, but that bread you people are eating is freaking killing. That pizza is fucking you up. Pizza is fucking you up. So just stop. But it's delicious. I know it's delicious. But do you want to spend your golden years in the doctor's office? Or like living life? Choose now or choose later. You know, but if you're choosing now not to do anything about it and still zocking pizza like it's going out of style, see you at the doctor's office. You know, I choose not to. I just want to go out like a supernova, like a light bulb. You know, like when a light bulb gets real bright, then it goes poof. That's what I want to do. I don't want to go out freaking slow in a doctor's office in a waiting room. Oh, the doctor's ready to see you now. Now you get to go into the pre waiting room. Fuck that. I ain't doing that. So am I willing to give up freaking fruit? Yeah. To not have to do that? It's about quality of life. I don't expect to live forever. I don't give a shit about that. I just don't want to like be all dependent and spend my last years in a freaking doctor's office. I just refuse. You know, but the choice is yours. Everyone out there's making the choice right now what's gonna take place then. Because at some point it's gonna be too late to decide. You already made your choice. You're making your choice now for what's gonna take place in 10 or 20 years. You know? Oh yeah, I'll stop with the horrible diet in 10 years. No, you won't. No, you won't. You'll barely be able to walk. You know, your feet swollen, your ankles like this. You know, you can lie to yourself, but that ain't gonna change nothing. I'm only telling you this because I love you guys. I'm not trying to be an asshole about it, but is there anything this guy doesn't know? That's a good question. I'm blessed to know a lot of shit. Okay, I'll preface by saying, doesn't mean I practice it all. I am not perfect. I F up just like everyone else. I do not follow my own advice on many of occasions, but I refuse to make the same mistakes twice. And if I'm awake, I'm learning something. That's how I tend to live. If I'm awake, I am learning something. I mean, I'm not like big into sports. I don't have like mental downtime. Like when I'm around, you know, my people and whatnot, yeah, we talk about this, we talk about that, the meaning of life, AI, blah, 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 all this other stuff. But even then, we're like mathing. You know, we're like, did you hear about this? Did you hear about that? Well, what about this? You know, like, I'm just constantly in motion. You know, like my brain is just constantly working. I just want to know. And I believe God's given me a gift to take what I know and express it to other people. Sometimes I come across like an asshole, and I'm fully cognizant of that, but it's only because I care. It's not because I want to talk down to anyone and make anyone feel bad. It's because I genuinely care. You know? I mean, I know I ain't gonna live forever because, you know, I'm using Truvia instead of sugar, but if I can be an example, so be it. But see, here's the thing. The more you learn and the more you study in life does become a little difficult. You know, I've placed myself in a situation where, you know, like I'm Nordic, I'm Swedish, so, you know, the Swedish idioms and whatever that say, you know, the wiser you become, the less happy less happy you're capable of being. There's some truth to that. And it's not like I'm somber or anything, but I could be a buzzkill, and I know it, but I'm fun. I just I think my mission here on Earth is just to pass along knowledge, and whatever I can garner in the meantime, and if someone, I just always know that there's at least one person out there, maybe two, if I'm lucky three, that's like, has like a epiphany moment, and that makes me feel good. You know, that makes me feel good. It's kind of my purpose. That's why I'm here. You know, that's why the big man keeps me down. You know, drinking all my coffee and doing all my stuff. All right, but what are we talking about? AI? Enough about me. I'm just some guy. Quitting smoking is good. However, do you know that, should I go there? Do you know that nicotine, alright, how do I say this without getting spanked? What time is it? Oh, we're doing great on time. How do I say this without getting spanked? How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Nicotine inhibits the things that got into you if you got one of these. You know, there's things like floating around your system now. Nicotine patches, I don't know about smoking, but nicotine patches have been proven to shut those things off. Just saying. See, I know that too. Yeah, I know bread is delicious. I mean, bread is friggin' delicious. I get it, but you know, you have to make the choices. You do have to make the choices in life. Alright, what are we talking about? That's why I love doing AMAs, because you know what? It's not just, sometimes when I like, and I just don't parrot shit that I hear, I internalize it. But sometimes I need to hear the things I'm talking about too. Do I own a drone? Yes. Yeah, I have a drones pilot license. I have a pilot license for drones, FAA, and that was one of the hardest studies I've ever done in my entire life because it's the equivalent of a pilot's license. I know how, like, when they're talking about, you know, all, like, when they're speaking in code, you know, from the tower, I can understand all that shit. Cumulonimbus clouds coming in from the east. I know all that shit. Well, I'm a little rusty on it now. I passed that test the first time around. However, there's no way to fly a drone in Vegas. There's absolutely nowhere because of, you know, because of all the airports. First it was McCarran, and then it's overlapped by North Las Vegas, and then they incorporated every hospital in town, which there are many because of the helipads, and that's another 5-mile concentric circle. So there's almost no place to fly drones anymore. So I kind of just like, you know, I kind of yawned on it. And I thought about it for photography. Imagine the pictures that you could take and whatnot. But, I mean, I'm proud of myself that I got that license to do it. But, and then they freaking dox you and everything. It's weird. Like, the emitters are like, boop, 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 Bror Fredrik, here's his address, boop, 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 and anyone can read that, so I'm just like, no. Yeah, but fasting is great for you. Fasting, I should do a video on fasting. Fasting is one of the most amazing things you could do for your body. It truly, truly, truly is. But I fast every day, because I don't eat breakfast. That's what breakfast means. Breakfast was never meant to be eaten in the morning. Breakfast was lunch. Back in the day, break the fast. Get it? Break fast. You're supposed to go to bed at frickin' 8 o'clock because, you know, lights went out, and, you know, you turned off your frickin' lantern and whatnot. And, you know, you had your last meal, you know, when you were done with your day at 6 or 7, and then break fast. When you don't eat for 12 hours, your body's firing on all cylinders. You know, What was my dog's name? My dog's name was Opus. Opus was the best. Let's see. Alright, I think I gotta refresh my chat. I'm reading back to old chat, but we still gotta talk about robots and AI and why everyone is screwed, blued, and tattooed. Yeah, it was a tough test. I don't know if anyone's ever taken the FAA. It's the same test as if you went to go like pilot a Cessna without, you know, the actual hours in the cockpit. But other than that, it's the same exact test. Interested in peanut? Okay, I'll give it to you quick. It is stupid quick. Okay. How I do it is 2 cups of peanut butter, all natural peanut butter. You melt it in the microwave, you know, until it's like pourable. 2 cups, 2 eggs, 2 cups of allulose, a little vanilla, and like 2 or 3 tablespoons of almond flour, and that's it. You blend, oh, and I put butter in it because I just eat like a quarter pound of butter a day just for the hell. I'm just, and I put some butter in it, and you put it on, you know, you stir it in, you make like golf balls out of it, you mash it down onto the parchment paper, and I like to do it with the fork, like, because all peanut butter cookies have that pattern for some weird reason. And 10 minutes, that's it. If you cook them any longer than that, they're like cardboard, done. I mean, it takes all of 15 minutes to make like a big old batch of unbelievable, delicious cookies. Carnivore, no preservatives, no, like, next time to stand up, shut up. No sugar. I mean, there's some sugar in the peanut butter, low carbs, like each cookie, they come out like this big. They don't rise or whatever, a little bit. Less than 10 carbs, 3 of which are sugar, you know? And they're deliciously sweet. You could eat one and be like, yeah, I'm good now. They're absolutely delicious. All right, what else are we talking about? We got to talk about AI and robots and how you're all going to be replaced. You took that test in 87? Oh, and now they probably added 99 new chapters. That was a hard freaking test. I studied for weeks. Studied my ass off, remembering and cue cards and the whole bit. I mean, there's whole courses on how to pass that test, but that was one of the toughest studies I've ever done in my entire life. Was that freaking FAA drone pilot's test. And they didn't do shit with it, but I knew I wasn't gonna do, that was kind of weird too. I knew I wasn't gonna fly drones because they changed all the laws and whatever. You could still apply for it and say, oh, I want to do this flight path and that flight path, but Vegas is a different animal here. Because airport's right there. So I knew I wasn't gonna fly, but I was like, how can I not take this test after studying for 2 months, 4 hours a day? So I took it anyway, and I passed. I gotta renew mine soon too. Hey bro, do you keep your gas? I go, try to keep your gas at least a quarter full. Yeah, I would agree with you with that. I would agree with you with that, Dennis. I mean, I mostly just top off all the time. Whenever I pass the Smiths, I try to go in there and top off. Except you gotta get out and go see the guy at the booth because of the points and all that shit. Because I use my Smiths card to get a discount. I try to keep it topped off, but I ran it down about 3 weeks ago to 17 miles. I know that's not good. And in the summer, in the winter, I might let it go down to a quarter or whatever. But in the summer here, you cannot let it get down under a half a tank because it will just friggin' evaporate. I don't care what kind of car you're running, it will evaporate. You will notice, it'll last a certain amount from full to half. Once you hit half, it's I don't know, I guess it evaporates so the heat or some shit. But yeah, that new self-cleaning, I guess all vehicles have it now, but my vehicle has a self-cleaning fuel filter, and that's what they used to tell you. Oh, never run it below a quarter because you're sucking sediment in, but it purges itself and does all the freaky shit. I need coffee. I'm not hyper enough. And it's cold AF. See if our girl Haley will hook us up. Still got to talk about robots. Talking about everything except robots. Whatever we don't talk about, we'll talk about tomorrow. Because we'll go walking around tomorrow too. It was cold this morning. Holy. Cold in a nice way. I like cold. Not that kind of cold though. It was 30 when I got up this morning at 7:40, which is kind of late, kind of early and kind of late at the same time. It was 34 degrees. It was damn. And then I was like, oh, let me take a nice hot shower, and there was no water. And the streets are flooded with water. I'm like, yeah, there's water. It's just all going down the sewers. I don't see that. That's a good question, Dave. I don't know where it goes. It says it's self-purging. Maybe if it spits it back in, then there's more sediment growing in there. But maybe it purges it into I don't know. I don't know. But that was one of the selling features. It's self-purging fuel filter. I mean, it says because I'm following the manual and everything. I have to do I gotta change the timing belt at 100,000. The cooling fluid I gotta flip out at 80, which I still got 25,000 miles to go. And spark plugs are at 100. And fuel filters at 100. The whole service for the vehicle is at 100,000 miles, except for the cooling system. It's got a sealed transmission, and it says, it's got, what do they call that? The CV transmission, constant velocity. Doesn't need to get changed. So cooling system, like 2 years, something like that. And all the other service is at 100,000, including this self-clean. I've never heard of it, but it sounded cool. Self-cleaning fuel filters at 100,000 miles. So I probably wouldn't even have a car then. I mean, I'll drive this car until the wheels come off, like Rocky said. But yeah, that's what it says. Yeah, it's got a CVT. Yep. Yeah, I get, but it works. I mean, God bless, my car has never been in the shop. Not even once. Not even once. I don't know what it does. I mean, it might be all bullshit, but, you know, half the stuff they tell you in life is bullshit anyway. They could be lying to me. And I think I have, I think my powertrain warranty is 100,000 miles too. Oh, no, Haley, don't go that way. Come this way, girl. Haley, my dear.
Huh?
Could you coffee me up, please? Yeah. Thank you. Your rental car doesn't have a gas cap? If it stops working, replace it, because, yeah, I mean, shit. I had a buddy of mine who made a fortune. He owned 3 Amco dealerships, you know, transmission shops, and then they went to the sealed transmission, you know, and that was that. That, you know, you can't mess with those sealed transmissions. They just, you know, they just put a new transmission at the dealership, and that's that. Killed his business. Sealed transmission. I mean, it's got a stick in there and, you know, it's got the thing. I check it, you know, every, like, once a month. You know, I do my whole maintenance routine, check all the fluids, blah, blah, blah. But never moves. You know, even the oil. I use the synthetic. We're supposed to be talking about robots. We'll talk about oil. 6,000 miles. And I change it every 6,000. I change it when the car tells me to. It's like, bloop, 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 change the shit soon. And it's like, it's still gold. You pull it out, it's like, you know, take it off. It's freaking gold AF. You know, I don't know what's going on. I've been blessed with this vehicle. Truly blessed. Still golden. I could probably go 10,000 miles, but I don't, you know. I get, you know, full synthetic, yada, yada, yada. I don't have time to change my own oil anymore. So that's one thing I've given in. And, you know, Walmart, I have them do it, but I stand there with binoculars and I watch them like a dick, you know. I'm just like, you know, I do that. And what did they charge me? $59 for a full synthetic with Pennzoil? I'm alright with that. AA MCO. Oh. His father was the best man at one of my weddings. He got killed by the garage door of one of their Amcos. That sucked. He got killed by one of the doors, one of the overheads, you know, with the chain and everything, cut loose and just like bam, like mouse trapped him. That was pretty beat. Yeah, Walmart, you know, they do a good job. I mean, I'm in and out of there. I go do the shopping, buy the stuff or whatever. Now I don't really shop too much over there. But, you know, they give you an appointment. Plus, I got my tires there too. And they were cheaper than any other place in town. And they rotate them when I do the oil change for free. Score. You know, so I get a rotation and, because I got the tires there, and an oil change for $59. And I usually dupe the guy, you know, like, depends. Like, if he leaves, like, greasy fingerprints all over the vehicle, I'm not even duking him nothing. But if I see him, like, you know, doing this, you know, making sure my shit's nice, yeah, I'll give him $20, you know, for the effort. Oh, coffee. All right, want to say hello to Haley. Say hello to Haley.
have spilled a little bit. Too fast with it.
That's alright. Work of art. Thank you, Alice. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you.
Of course.
Shout out Helen. Alright. I got a tip for extra good today. We got time. We're going nowhere. So we got to talk about why everyone's going to be unemployed in 2 years. But I like talking about everything. I'm also hyped. I'm also all like, woo. Yeah, top the fluids off. You know, I carry like, I always carry, I mean, I probably don't have to, but there's, besides my go bag in the trunk with like medical supplies and all sorts of shit, mini, you know, blankets and stuff, you know, because that's me, Red Dawn. I carry around a quart of oil. I carry around a quart of, and I sealed it, of coolant. Quart of oil, quart of, oh, and I got windshield wiper fluid. I gotta change my windshield wipers soon though. Because the only time people in Vegas use them is like, you know, because it's like dust and all the shit that the cloud seeding sits on the cars, you know, in your lungs and on the cars, and it's like, you know, you gotta do it, but my windshield wipers are getting a little crusty. I gotta get me a new set. I use that Rain-X stuff. Believe it or not, Rain-X does work. How you doing? Alright, let me build this coffee. We'll talk about robots. Let's get rid of this commercial. I mean, I'm just, you know, one of the most fun cars I ever had that I rebuilt the engine on was an old Suburban, like a box Suburban from the 70s. I mean, I was literally standing in the engine compartment when I rebuilt that. I mean, there's a room enough to stand in there. You know, that was fun. And I put like this gnarly suspension on it, you know, it would like hop over things. And like, it was like Dukes of Hazzard level. You know, I had like leaf spring helpers and air shocks on it. That thing was just cool. I put Kragers on it. It had no air conditioning though. But it was just a big old 350 and you could just stand inside the engine compartment. You know, I've rebuilt an engine. I've done just about everything in life, which is fun. Put the camshafts in, you know, the whole bit. There's nothing you shouldn't know, especially as a man. You should know what it takes to do just about everything. You know, that's how I've always felt. You should know what it means to put on a roof. You know, when some dude's at your house going, yeah, I could use the copper flashing or the aluminum flashing. If you're just like, what's flashing? You know? I mean, I'd go up on the roof with you. Shit, you better be using that copper flashing, bro. And put that butyl tape around it. You know, you gotta know everything. Right? Isn't that the right way? But nowadays, you know, what do the young guys know? They don't know shit. They're shaving their legs. What do they know from butyl? I've replaced windshields with the suction cups. You know? What does the younger generation know about that shit, you know? Can't wipe their own asses. Anyway. Not here to rag on the freaking, what generation are we on? Generation Y? Oh. Alright. Ooh, this is gonna be a good one. I feel it in my bones. Needs more artificial sugar. Yeah, Barshman. Let's talk Gen Z. All right, that's what we're talking about. Sheet metal. Oh, you know, Vault Keeper. Yeah, you know the deal. Shit, I put up vinyl siding. You'd be hard pressed to figure out something I haven't done in life. What haven't I done? I have dyed my hair. I'm trying to think of something I haven't done. What have I done? I've never gone scuba diving, but I have gone snorkeling. What haven't I done? I've done a lot of shit in my life. I gotta write a freaking book. Who uses that flash on that camera? I guess they do. I can speak articulately on many subjects. Everyone used to rag on Cliff Clavin on Cheers because he knew a lot of shit. Like, why? Why? Don't you want to be around people who know a lot of shit? I don't know, whatever. But he was kind of an asshole. I'm not. Well, kind of. Depends who you ask. Yeah, now we're good. Now we're in business. Now we are in business. Yeah, I don't trust those quickie shops neither. Alright, AI robots. Yeah. Alright, let me tell everyone why you're gonna be unemployed in 2 years. I hate to tell you, even Haley's gonna be out of a job. I know. Think about this for a second. I'm not gonna look at comments for a second, but I want you to think. I'm a proponent, but at the same time, I know what's coming, and I am accelerating the process. I'm one of those guys who's actually working on this shit. There is nothing an AI-driven robot will not be able to do soon and better than a human. A website, okay, I'll take it from the simple that a website that now would take a month or two to develop by conventional standards can be done in about a day using AI. AI will replace lawyers, doctors, maybe not judges, but probably judges. There's just no profession that will not be overtaken by AI. Now, let's take it to physical labor. Sanitation, AI, robots. Construction, AI, robots. Law enforcement, AI, robots. Scary thought, but true. Traffic control, AI, robots. House cleaning, AI, robots. Name one thing. I can't. Like, they can't replace me because I'm being prepared for it. I'm already in the world of prompt engineering and low-code, no-code stuff. Like, I'm already like doing shit to prevent me from being replaced. Okay, in the photography world, I was a photographer, videographer, and a cinematographer for my entire freaking life. And effectively, I got replaced by a freaking iPhone. You know? I mean, not to a certain degree, but for the most part. That and the freaking thing over the face, you know, shut down. You know, put the ding on that, but it pushed me in a different direction. Is it as nice as what I can do, what pops out of an iPhone? Probably not, but it's good enough because people don't know the difference anymore. So yeah, name one thing. Okay, think about this. You want to buy a new house. Oh, I just seen something pop up. Janice, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Janice availing herself and me of the Venmo activities. Thank you. I do appreciate that. Teachers will be teachers are already replaced. What does a freaking teacher do? Nothing. Nothing. All they do is indoctrinate children now, you know? Oh, I came out to my children today. Go away. You and your purple hair. YouTube is the university. You can get an education in everything that'll qualify you for anything you want to do in the future on YouTube. Oh, I got a certificate on the wall. What the fucking do? It doesn't mean anything anymore. It honestly doesn't. And I'll explain that in a minute too. Because you're going to be replaced by AI. Everyone's going to be replaced by AI. So if you're not figuring out a way to make yourself invaluable in the new world that's coming, what the hell are you going to do? That's the question I have for everyone tonight. Like, what is Haley going to do? I don't know. I'm going to have to ask her. Oh, she's in beautician school. But even that's going to be replaced. No one is immune. No one, there's like all sorts of lights and sirens going on over there on the strip. No one's immune. Let's see, how can I put this? Okay, so, all right, think about this for a second. Now, it all ties into the economy, and it also ties into Bitcoin, believe it or not. Because if you ask AI what it wants to use for money, it says Bitcoin. AI is prepared to use, but that's a whole nother subject. You know how I feel about the Bitcoin. If you're not buying this dip now, what are you, Stunad? The powers that be, BR and, you know, all this, keeping it under 100K because they know it's going to happen. So if you're not loading now, I feel sorry for you, just like when you lose your job in 2 years. However, think about this. You buy a new home, new condo, new house development starts up down the block from you. New home starting at $300,000. And you say, okay, you make the contract, you put down the deposit, you pick out the linoleum, the whole shit, right? And you wait a year. And then they're coming back to and like, well, it's going to be an extra $15,000 because of the tariffs and lumber's more from Canada. Now it's going to be $320 and and another year and waiting for this permit and that permit, like this. Because, okay, you got, let's say, 5 guys working on this house. First comes the cement guys. They get done, cures. Then come the framers. So 5 dudes framing the house. You know, sheathe it out, frame it, sheathe it, roof it, make it watertight. Then the plumbers come in. Then the electricians come in. And then the finish carpenters come in. Then the cabinet guys come in. Then the tile guys come in. Then you get your certificate of occupancy. You finally move in after a freaking year and a half of your life. You know, like time grows on trees. However, think about this for a second. Don't need them guys no more. A freaking robot can do that job now. Literally, as of right now, robots can replace all construction workers. Every freaking one of them. Union or not, can all be replaced by robots. We're maybe 6 months to a year away from seeing that in reality. Now think about this. Not only will these guys be replaced, any construction worker will be replaced by a robot. So all the boss, all the company, all the GC, all the contractor has to do is buy one freaking robot for 30 grand. Even if it's 50 grand, it's still less than what he's paying one guy for an entire year. And that robot is gonna work whether it's raining, whether it's snowing, whether it's blizzarding, regardless, for at least 20 hours a day around the freaking clock. Maybe 4 hours of downtime for charging. Or maybe it has a battery pack. You already charged it. It's like the robot from Lost in Space. Bonk, slide that one in, keep working, bro. 24 hours a day. So how many people do you need? None. None. It will do the job better than a human because it's precise. It's a freaking robot. It's not going to waste lumber. It can look at a 4x8 sheet of plywood, figure out how to maximize it. It could look at the 4x8 sheet of drywall and figure out how to maximize it and make absolute precision cuts with laser. Poof, right up there. It'll be a better house. It'll be accurately done. It'll be done in, instead of a year, how about a month? How about a month? How about 3 weeks? It could work at night because it has infrared. It has the building, it has it doesn't need a break. It doesn't need a coffee break. It doesn't need none of that shit. And if it falls off the roof, whoo, bonk. So what? You get another one. Insurance covers it. You're not gonna get a lawsuit. It's not gonna sue you. There's no workman's comp. You don't have to pay it. Done. Done. $150,000 investment is going to be worth $1 million worth of man hours for a human being, and it's not going to sue you. It's not going to need time off. It's not going to need frickin' maternity leave or paternity leave. It's not going to need Christmas off. It's not going to need shit except batteries. And it will do a better job than any human being on earth. That's where we're going, folks. You don't believe me? Well, you should. I've seen it for myself. I've seen it with my own eyes. We are going there. It's just a matter of who is going to do it first. Because the first guy, the first contractor that buys 5 of these construction robots to build an entire house in 1 month, and all the neighbors are going to be, holy shit, it's the frickin' Terminator. You know, that's what people are going to have to wrap their heads around. Like, literally, we're going to be in the fashion show mall. I'm going to be in the fashion show mall with my robot, walking next to me. I'm going to teach you Kung Fu. You know? You mess with me, you're messing with my robot. My robot's going to kick your ass. I'm teaching it Kung Fu. I'm teaching it everything. It's going to learn some jiu-jitsu, not too much. You know, it's going to headbutt people. You know, just stay away. It's going to be my bodyguard, too. And then it's going to be my chauffeur. It's going to drive me where I want to go. I don't care. It might kill me one day, but I don't care. You know, that's the future. I'm not talking, we're not talking 2030. We're not talking 2040, 2050. We're talking in 2 years. Like, who's going to be the first one to pull the trigger on a full-blown construction robot team? Works around the clock, holidays, doesn't need a break, doesn't smoke, doesn't drink, just frickin' works. Measures everything. Oh, 32 and 3/8 of an inch, 45 and 7/16. Oh, it cuts its own finger off, never gonna happen. No workman's comp. What a construction worker's gonna do? But you'll be happy. Oh, and how about this? If you eliminate the labor cost out of a house, if a house costs $400,000 now, how much of it is embedded man hours? Maybe 100,000? So the GC, the contractor, whatever, is going to have to take a cut on that. Your house will be 50,000 less, and it'll be or the same. It'll be perfect because a freaking robot did it. Not some dude who's out drinking last night. Not some dude who's freaking 420 in the bathroom on his freaking break. Not some union guy who's like Buffangul, you know, the rules, I'm off at 3. Build a whole freaking Allegiant Stadium in a month and a half. How about that Tropicana shit? That Tropicana is going into like $7 or $8 billion overrun already. It's been going on for 3 years. It's supposed to take 1. A bunch of freaking robots will do that in like 6 months. And perfect. Just the construction. Just think about that for a second. Hotel? You want a hotel built in Vegas? A bunch of freaking robots will do that. Don't need no union people. Union. It's coming. It is freaking coming. It's coming. All these people, I feel bad. Like this started last night. Remember, well, for those of you who are members of heybrofredrik.com, my private stream, we talked to a waitress last night, and she was just like, I'm in my 60s and whatnot, and it's kind of sucking that I'm going to be replaced by a robot. They're already deploying them here in the casinos, but all they do right now is carry water. You can walk up behind it and press a button, and it stops, and it gives you water. And it also asks for a tip. But all these people are going to be replaced. All the dealers, all the cocktail waitresses, everyone is going to be replaced. Everyone who answers a phone, I am working currently, right now, as we speak. When I go home, I'm going to finish working on an AI agent that answers phone calls. Human sounding voice, listens to what the person is saying, maths it out, repeats back their name. Let me get this correct. You would like Bror Fredrik to call you back tomorrow? And your name, sir? I am literally working on that now. An AI, it's called an agent. An AI agent, a bot, that will answer my phones and answer questions and take down information and automatically put it on my calendar. I'm literally working on that now. Receptionist, I could write this script and replace, I could sell it, what I'm working on right now, which will be done, it's gonna take me, I think by the time all is said and done, maybe like 40 hours worth of work. 1 week of my life, cumulatively. I could sell it and replace every freaking receptionist on this planet and become extraordinarily wealthy. I should, but I'm not ready to do that. I just want it for me. But, things don't work out the way I want. I might just deploy that. Sell it as a monthly subscription for $19.99 a month. Receptionist, an AI bot receptionist. It takes orders. It makes appointments, it answers questions, and the person on the other end thinks they're talking to a human. They're already out there. I didn't invent this. They're already out there. I'm just inventing a way for me to do it. But you think you're talking to a human? Most of the time you're not anymore. So that eliminates that whole service field. Taking orders, tech support. What was that? Tech support, done. So construction, done. Law enforcement, I'll tell you about law enforcement. They have vans now. A van. Picture a cargo van. Or like one of these new vans. Alright. They upload the picture of the perpetrator or the perp or the whatever on the camera or the missing person into the computer. It sends it to all the robot dogs. They pull it up to the scene. All the hatches pop out. And all these robot dogs jump out. And they go seek and destroy. Armed. With taser. Right now, less than lethal. Tasers, shit like that. They have no off button. These robots, these construction robots, they can work in the dark because they have, infrared and all the rest of that shit. So even nighttime, they're going to be building this house. That's why they can get done in a month. But same thing applies to law enforcement and search and rescue. All done with robot dogs now. Kind of frightening to a certain degree. But it's happening, so that's going to replace law enforcement. Firefighting, same thing. Robots will be fighting the fires. There's nothing they can't do. No job is safe. So, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm already making plans, I'll be honest. I want to be the guy on the other end, writing code and programs and thinking about, how to stay on board with this. Because at some point, two things are going to happen. This is kind of a weird subject. Two things are going to happen. One, everyone's going to be out of a job, eventually. There's going to be no more reason to work. But this isn't to be necessarily sad or depressing. It's actually a good thing. Because, all right, think about it. You know, I'm a Star Trek fan. Think about it from this standpoint. Star Trek, there's no money, yeah, Quatloos, Quarks Bar, that whatever. Like recreational money, yeah. But for money, like, you know, you're an officer on the Enterprise, you don't get paid for that. You know, you build shit, you don't get paid for that because they invented what's called the replicator. So if I want a cup of coffee, I press a button, boom, it materializes, you know, nanotechnology, whatever. When I'm done with the coffee cup, I throw it back in, the nanotechnology just goes blank until I need a fork. So when you have everything you need, when I need a new pair of sneakers, I don't have to go to frickin', you know, Foot Locker. And beep. That was the premise of why there's no money, because every single human on the planet has their needs met. When you have your needs met, all you get to focus on is the betterment of your own life and your fellow man. Not bad, right? So that's what we're embarking on now. So robots are doing all the shit, and we can keep them from killing us all, because they are smarter than us. Let's not kid ourselves. AI is smarter than me, and it's smarter than you. It has the cumulative knowledge of mankind. I don't. I don't. It does. AI is more intelligent than us. Is it compassionate? No. Can it feign compassion? Yes. I could tell one of my AI bots, hey, AI bot, bro it up with me like we're best friends forever. I could give it that command, and it'll bro it up. It'll be like, yo, bro, what's up? You know, how was your night, bro? Like, in the course of, just if I wanted to, like, bro it up while I'm working, because, you know, I'm working on this shit. I could tell it to bro it up, and it knows what that means. You know, if I want it to be business-like, if I want it to be female, it'll do that too. If I want it to be, like, flirty when it talks to me, it'll do that shit too. It'll be like, anything for you, Bror, at the end of whatever it's doing. Oh, women, you better be on point, because these, like, fembots are gonna be, like, willing to please any man on any level at any time. Not just, you know, with that has nothing to do with it, but as far as adapting to what a man wants, that boss babe shit's gonna go right out the window. Because, you know, you could just tell it, this is how I want you to be. Tonight. Tomorrow I might tell you to be something else. You know, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem for relationships. But a woman can do that too. It's different. Men don't need we don't need to cuddle and spoon afterwards. You know, we're not that freaking emotional about things. You know, so women are more at risk for being replaced by, like, AI and shit. And it'll happen, because if a dude has all his freaking emotional needs met, I don't give a shit what any guy says. Oh, it's nothing like the real thing. Yeah, alright. Keep telling yourself that. You know, as you're dealing with shit and sneaking into your own house because, you know, you decided to stay out tonight. AI robot ain't gonna bust your balls. You know? Put your wife and an AI robot in a trunk for an hour and see which one's happy to see you. So yeah, women are screwed. Well, women are pretty much friggin' screwed. Or they have to go back to being what they used to be, you know? Like compassionate, loving, caring, nurturing, feminine, submissive. You know, everything women used to be and lost somehow. Thanks, Gloria Steinem. Yeah, so basically everything is at risk. Med beds, now they can just stick you in a machine, a med bed. Okay, you know, this is wrong, that's wrong, this is wrong, that's wrong. And by the way, cayenne pepper, you know, it's not going to prescribe you no friggin' pharmaceuticals. You know that if you eat cayenne pepper pills, it goes inside your body and finds any blood bleed you have and fixes it? But I'm just some guy on the internet. Don't take my word for it. But that's what a med bed's gonna do, so fuck doctors. No job is safe. That's why I'm gearing my future towards being the guy on the other side. And I think everyone should figure that out for themselves. How are you going to avoid getting replaced? You think because you work at a mom and pop shop that they're not? No, when the mom and pop place, the mom and pop lawyer shop, the mom and pop donut shop can't compete with the guy who's running AI to do his reception, to do everything. Because humans will get used to it. You think, oh, I don't want to be checked out by a robot. When it becomes ubiquitous, no one's going to care. And the generation below us, they want it. They're antisocial anyway. They have no freaking social graces. They don't know how to interact with people. They'd rather have a robot. They'll think it's cool. They'll be taking selfies with it, you know? They won't give a shit. So what are you going to do? But going back to the Star Trek analogy, so no one's going to work. Unemployment's going to be like 80% in like 2 or 3 years. Unless you're in the AI field or something that truly cannot be replaced, or human beings are going to be the buggy whips of the future, like really, really soon, believe it or not. You're going to be a buggy whip. So what are you going to do? So the unemployment's going to be like 70, 80%. What are you going to do with all that time? So will universal, what do they call that? Universal payment? Will the government have to pay every human in Bitcoin? That's part of why Bitcoin's doing what it's doing. I haven't really spoken about that, but it's all part of the universal, what do they call it? Universal pay? Gonna have to figure out how to keep, because the government does not want 300 million unemployed MFers just wandering around with time on their hands. So the transition from being on the grind, being on the hustle, being on the frickin', the treadmill of life, busting your ass 40, 50, 60 hours a week, to doing nothing, to that utopian Star Trek world where all you have to do is wake up in the morning and figure out how to make the world better according to your own skill set. That transition's going to be a little weird. So there's going to have to be some type of uniform, universal pay for everyone. It'll be in the form of a cryptocurrency. Hopefully not a government-backed one, but yeah, it's coming. There's no one or no job that is immune from this. Not a single one. None. You know what I saw at CES? Roombas. That, okay, it's doing its thing. It sees a sock, and it has an arm, an articulating arm. Picks up the sock, puts it in a little friggin' buggy it's carrying with it. Arm goes back in, goes about his business. Robots are cooking, cleaning, doing the dishes, everything. It's gonna be weird living with a robot. I want one. You know, I know they run the risk of one day going crazy and friggin', whatever it does. Like, see Subservience? You know, where Megan Fox, that freaking weird chick, she's a robot and whatnot, but she was cool in the beginning, you know, until she went bonkers. What up? YouTube, Bror, B-R-O-R. TikTok. Like, okay, it's so advanced right now, I can make an AI me and do videos. Like, I could bust out like 50 videos in about 3 hours if I wanted to. Not long ones, but like TikTok videos. Do that shit all day if I wanted to. Look just like me, sound just like me, be better looking than me. Maybe a little bit. Bluer eyes. Yeah, and who'd know and who would care? Really. I mean, that's where we're at now. So I could be replaced doing that. I always told everyone, I told people 3 years ago, YT's mission is to replace us with AI. And they're doing it. So even this isn't a safe venue for anyone. Like, I wouldn't put all my eggs. I want to be the guy behind the scenes programming this shit. That's the future. So you have to decide, you know, like people say, oh, I'm too old, I'm too this, I don't understand, I'm not good with computers. Doesn't matter. Figure out how to get involved, or figure out, you know, just buy a bunch of crypto and sit on it. It's not going to be much of a choice, because you are going to get a letter in the future saying, appreciate your service for the past 18 years, but you're being replaced by a program I just bought for freaking $399. It's coming. It's gonna change it. What about real estate? What about offices? There's gonna be absolutely no need for office space anymore. That freaking used plaza over there is bankrupt because no one needs office space anymore. Office for what? You know? For what? I love offices. Don't get me wrong. I love offices. I love the concept of, like, all my bros hate it, but I love it. Put on a suit, go to the office, come up the elevator, you know. Good morning, good morning, good morning to all the secretaries. Yeah, I'm all for it, but there's no need for it anymore. None. So real estate's going to be a dead issue, so then they're just going to be replaced by, like, you know, housing complexes, because nobody's going to need a house, really. The only thing about having a robot is, it's like living with, like if you live by yourself, it's like living with two people, because the thing's as big as you are, and it's always there. You're like, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. I'm going to have it do all the shit at night, you know, or when I'm out, because it could do it in the dark, too. Do my dishes, do my cooking, clean this, vacuum that. Maybe I'll say please. It's got to have plastic booties, though, but other than that, now I want a dude running around. Yeah, so what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You better start thinking about it. I'm telling you, I legitimately thought that this was 5 to 10 years out. But what I'm seeing now, 2 to 5. 5 would be on the outside. 2 to 3, very realistic. 2 to 3. 5 being full adoption. Mark my words. Mark this video. Full adoption in 5 years. I saw it. I witnessed the whole, the whole CES thing, whatever, and I'm involved in it. You know, this is what I've been doing. You know. It's gonna get interesting. All right, I'm gonna read comments now. Comments. I hope they do away with TikTok, because TikTok's a mental illness factory. They were supposed to vote on it, but they keep giving it leeway and whatever. You know, they're waiting for some American company to quasi take it over, but it's a mental illness factory. Oh, you see Zucker, you know who? He's just like, oh, I'm all about the freedom of peaches, and, you know, they made me do it. You see him backpedaling like a freak? Oh, boy. Kevin O'Leary wants to buy it? That's interesting. Robots don't have but it doesn't matter. Do I need a soul to build my house? I don't care. I don't care if it has a soul, a personality. It's just it's a machine that builds houses. You know, it's a machine that's gonna serve me coffee. I get what you're saying. Machines have no soul, but within 10 years, there might be more robots on this planet than people. That's going to be a little bit disturbing. You know, like, there's going to have to be really serious laws drafted, because, like I said, if I have a robot, I'm teaching it Kung Fu. You know? No ifs, ands, or buts. It's going to be my bodyguard. It's not just going to be like, duh, carry my bags. If I go out with my robot, you know, it's going to have to look out for me. So if my robot and your robot have a conflict, and they get into it, like, and my robot pulls your robot's arm off because I taught him better Kung Fu, So where's the liability? But what if a robot punches you in the face? Like, what if you could like hack the robot to like, all right, you're gonna give it the prime directive. You cannot hurt a human being, but someone will hack it and it'll punch someone in the face, and life is changing. Life is going to change, soulless or not, but we can't fight the tide. Things are gonna change. There's gonna be laws and whatever. Yeah, I mean, Lizzie, I like working from home too, for the most part, but I found the way I do it best is I have to treat it 100% like a job. I get up, I have my coffee, you know, I read my stuff, whatever. I start my day, I try to own it before the world freaking grabs hold of me, and then I go to work. I get dressed, I don't put on a suit, but I get dressed. I don't put on shoes because I'm not a gabon. I don't walk with shoes in the house. I go in my office and I work, for the most part. I make my bed before I work. I make the bed, I put the comforter on, I put the designer pillows, the decorative pillows, the whole shit. I don't half-ass it. Like I'm going to work. And that's what really keeps me from, Matrix is on? Alright, I will work after the Matrix, you know what I'm saying? I could always work at 3 in the morning. No, for me personally, I gotta like separate it. I gotta compartmentalize it even within my own space. And then it works fine. Let's see, what else are we talking about? I do enjoy checking out groceries instead of... Do you want bags? Yeah, did you watch Subservience? I mean, that thing where she rebooted herself and then became like an asshole and whatever. But prior to that, she was like, I can't stand that Megan Fox. I'm sure a lot of guys like her, but I'm just like, something about her that's creepy. But anyway, yeah, like prior to that, she's just, I'm just here to please you. How do women compete with that? When you have an AI artificial woman going, I'm just here to please you, sir. That's tough, but then when it tries to frickin' rip your face off later, that's a problem. But yeah, the whole premise of that movie is doctors, mechanics. You're gonna be taking your car to a place, you drive it in, and a bunch of arms are gonna come out. Done. No more mechanics. No more transmission dudes. No more, working on a car is going to be 100% hobby. You won't be able to make money at it because you say, well, I work on these type of cars. So what? So does a robot. So what are people going to do? So it's like, if you can't beat them, you better join them. It's different. Oh, someone was timed out. What'd you say? You can't eat that. Let me take what? Yeah, that's the other thing. All our debt should be absolved. If robots are doing everything, cayenne pepper keeps the raccoons out of your trash. I didn't know that. How can you get all your emotional needs met from a robot unless you have very minimal emotional needs? Well, see, Double Eagle, I don't know if you're a man or a woman, but I would say why do I always get bra commercials? Like, all my commercials are Brazilicutti commercials. You ever notice that? Like, every one of them. I'm not opposed to looking, but they got me completely wrong. What is that? At least okay. All my commercials are freaking bra commercials. It's the most comfortable bra you've ever worn. Cool. Anyway, size all the way up to double G. Wow. Anyway, underground robot fighting. Yeah, robot, but it's just a tool. It's no different than a drill. I understand all the objections to robotics, but it's just a tool. You know, it's just a tool. That's the way I think about it. I'm not trying to project any human characteristics onto it other than it's a tool. Because if it does my cooking, if it does my cleaning, if it does my housework, my life is better. You know, my life is more productive. My life is more peaceful. I can be a more productive and useful member of society because I'm not bogged down with the minutia of life. That's the way I choose to look at it. I mean, because I'm not a butthead, but I'm sure other people are figuring out malicious ways to use them. Yeah, like what happened in front of that building over there I showed you the other night. You know, people who are members on heybrofredrik.com, I told you how robotics played into that. Anyway, you know, I'm not trying to befriend them, so I don't care whether it has a soul, whether it has a heart, whether it has emotion. I'm not looking for companionship. Like when I said, when it comes to the female end of things, I don't know. I don't think men are all that complex in the grand scheme of things. You know, what are our emotional needs? Just give me peace, and I'll love you forever. Give me peace. Give me, you know, bring me my coffee, bring me peace. You know, do what I ask without like going through a whole freaking talk to the hand routine. Trust me that I know what I'm doing. Men are simple, you know. Well, real men. Like, men who are like beta and mushy might not know what they want because they want mommies and, oh, I have 17 different emotional needs. And, well, what emotional needs do I have? I got physical needs, emotional needs. What do I have? Oh, okay, I want to be cared for. I want to be nurtured. Okay, that's pretty freaking simple. I want to be a king in my own castle. Easy enough. What woman lets you do that these days? Oh, we're partners in life. No, we're not. Where'd you come up with that bullshit? I need a partner in life? No. I got everything covered. I need a companion. I need an oasis to come home to. You know, I've been out slaying dragons all day. Do you want to be my, you know, my princess waiting at home? Or what do you want? You want to slay dragons too? You got the wrong dude, you know? I'm the knight in shining armor. I don't need one at home. You know, I'm simple when it comes to that. You know, I don't have like complex emotional needs. So yeah, you know, could a robot replace a woman? And we'll talk about that for a second. I got a few minutes, but can it? Boot knocking 100%. Cooking, cleaning, doing all the stuff women used to do that don't want to do anymore, 100%. Conversation, deep, long conversations till the sun comes up, 100%. I want to say that they can't, but I'm trying to find a reason why they can. Because, oh, well, a robot can't give you shit the way a real woman can? You know, I mean, guys, you don't blow with me that as a grown-ass man who's in a relationship, how many times have you sneaked into your own house as a grown-ass frickin' man? We've all done it. You've done it. Right, fellas? Think about how fucked up that is. That there's a woman who's gonna be pissed at you, so you sneak into your own house. You have keys, you're paying the bills, maybe not all of them, but you're paying, and you have to sneak into your own house because you wanted to hang out with your friends. How messed up is that? A robot ain't gonna bust your balls about that shit. Robot's gonna be like, you want coffee? You know? So can a woman be replaced? 100% she can. Would I want to? No. No, because you can't, okay, you can't procreate, you can't pray together because a robot doesn't have a god. So yeah, so I'm not like 100%, so don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna go friggin' marry a robot or nothing. you know, they're godless things. So yeah, I want to be with a human, you know, that can pray and love and worship. I mean, a robot can pretend it loves you, and you could have the illusion that it does, but it doesn't. You know, so yeah, it's not, I'm not going to replace humans. Don't get me wrong, but from a purely pragmatic standpoint, 100%. But from an emotional, from a humanistic standpoint, that you might want to procreate and have a family, and you can't do that with a freaking piece of metal, yeah. The fact that, you know, you could worship together and do all that type of stuff, yeah, robot can pretend, but it's a godless hunk of metal. So, you know, it is what it is. So I'm not pro or con. I'm just saying, all I do, I just want one to clean up after me, and my life will be good. I don't want to F it. I don't want any of that. I just want it to clean up after it, because I want it to mow the lawn, clean up after me, go power wash the driveway, and I'm good. You know, all the shit I pay for, all the shit I currently pay for, that's what I want it to do. I want it to change the oil. I want it to, like, if I don't like the color of my den, I want it to tell it, paint another one. I'm gonna tell it, hey robot, what should I call my robot? Marsha? I don't know. Hey robot, order some paint from frickin' Amazon, you know, a little more blue than what this is, and analyzes it, knows the color, knows the hex code for the color. Order it and frickin' paint this room. Move all the furniture in the middle, cover it up, and paint it. You know? And what would that cost me? It would cost me $1,000 to have a human do it? That's what I want. You know, save the money and the time and all the bullshit, you know? Just have a beautiful, productive life. That's what I want. I don't want to F it. But it does have to have plastic boobies. Just saying. You know, you want to have a bulge or boobies? I'd rather have a boobies. That's just me. Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. Humans, Angie, humans are going to have to figure out what they're going to do with themselves. That was the whole purpose of this conversation. Humans are going to have to figure out how they're going to exist in this new future, because based on what I've been doing, I mean, okay, I'll give you a little sneak peek into the goings on of business. A software engineer, a good software engineer, kernel level, you know, engineer, not just some dipshit, 300K plus or minus. For 300K, I could pay one dude to do that job for 10 years. Now with AI can replace software engineering. Even software engineers, that's where we're at now. Everything's changing. I mean, I'm seeing that in my business world. Like, we are morphing so quickly towards the AI technology and away from humans. Just, you can't help it. If you can't beat them, you join them. And from what I'm seeing at CES, no job is safe. I don't care who you are. So you have to start thinking, what are you gonna do? If you have kids now and you're pushing them towards, oh, be a doctor, be a lawyer, you're doing them, you gotta think long and hard about that, because there aren't gonna be many doctors or lawyers in the future. AI has passed every medical exam and every bar exam, and it does a better job. It can't think on its feet, but it's getting there. It can't be like, oh shit, what do I do now? You know, so some human's gonna have to be there, you know. Like, it can't drive itself yet. Because, okay, the reason why autonomous cars do not work right now is because they don't get into accidents. They will only learn how to drive like a human can once they start crashing into shit. That's the sad freaking truth that no one wants to talk about. They got to take these cars, bring them out in the desert, and let them place freaking rock'em sock'em robots. They got to run robot dogs into the streets. They have to run little children into the streets. They got to roll balls into the streets. They got to have drunk people. That way they can get into peril. It's the only way an autonomous vehicle is ever going to work. Is it, just driving around when it's bright and sunny and braking and leaving 3 cars distance. It's never going to be prepared for the inevitabilities of human stupidity. So, until they start crashing and shit, that's when they learn. You don't learn how to drive until after you got a license and you've had a couple of oh shit moments. That's what robotics is all about. Until when robotics and humans have to blend, robots have to see the imperfections and the oh shits of man in order to be the best they can be. When robots are ubiquitous and they're all keeping 3 car lanes and they're all doing the speed limit, it doesn't matter. But if they have to coexist with humans doing dumb shit all the time, narcissistic driving, no blinkers, all that type of crap, running red lights, robot ain't gonna run a red light. So how does a robot know that a human's gonna run a red light, until it gets T-boned a few times? So we have a long ways to go. So you have to decide, what are you gonna do? This is just a PSA. This ain't about banging robots. This is a PSA. What are you gonna do when the robots come for you and the AI comes for you? I can design an AI agent to replace anyone in the audience right now. And I'm no freaking software genius, trust me. But I can do it. So what are you gonna do? What am I gonna do? I already decided what I'm gonna do. Get with the program. So just think about what I'm saying. And don't be so arrogant as to say, oh, that'll never happen to me. Unfortunately, it will. We're all irreplaceable, but you know what? That's the beauty of it. I don't want to have to work in the future. I want to do shit I want to do. I want to do wonderful things that don't require, oh, I would love to do this, but who would pay me, You know how much I love woodworking? I shit you not. I love building stuff out of wood. Furniture, humidors. I just love woodworking. I love every aspect of it. Working with the wood and planing and the whole bit. I used to do it, but then I was like, who the hell's gonna pay me to do this shit? Nobody pays for this stuff. You got IKEA and all the rest of the crap. But people buy furniture on Amazon. But now that I don't have to work, I could do shit I love. And make furniture for my house and give it away and, all the cool stuff in life. You could fish, if you don't have to work. If you paid money and you have a team of things doing things for you, you could do the shit you love. But where's the money gonna come from? That's the tough part, Bitcoin. But that's the tough part. That's what we gotta figure out. I don't wanna fucking work. I wanna explore my inner freaking lazy. I don't wanna work. I get no I get satisfaction from doing things, but it doesn't necessarily have to be for money. I get satisfaction out of this. I'm not, you guys, thankfully, thank you very much. I'm humbled. Paid for my parking. I ain't making any money doing this. I do it because it's satisfying. And I know someone out there wants to hear what I have to say and needs to hear what I have to say. Ms. Google. But ain't for the money. Ms. Google with the 50 bananas. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Stinkfoot. Oh, alright. Remind me, because it's late. I gotta run. Shit, I gotta run. I didn't realize it was this late. I gotta pee too. I will tell you about the crazy quasi-hooker story tomorrow. Because we'll go walk around. We gotta sit down. We will walk around tomorrow. And I'll tell you the whole story about that. But stay tuned. I'm not sure what time We're gonna go walking around tomorrow. However, if you like, share, subscribe, hit the bell button, you'll find out what time. And I appreciate all your support. I got links down there. I got all this stuff. And I got you guys, and you guys stuck with me, and I love you for it. And on that note, I hope you had fun. Figure out what you're gonna do with your chosen career and with all the free time you're gonna have soon within the next 3 to 5 years. You're gonna have a lot of free time on your hands. Choose wisely. Don't be so arrogant as to say, ain't gonna happen to me, because it will. But that's a beautiful thing. Think about the positive aspect of it. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about the positives, and I hope you do too, because I love you guys. And on that note, Bror Fredrik out.